All right. So as we listen to our story today, I want you to think about these 3 words. Another thing that we're going to do, if you're watching this online, you can take a screenshot of this. But throughout the listening, Janet, I would like you to check off these sentences that you see. So great friends compliment, console, congratulate, and console. We just talked about those 3 words. So let's be listening. We develop new friendships and strengthen existing ones. How and why you should be a best friend to yourself. The world's leading experts on meditation and mindfulness. Meditation and mindfulness. Best friends say loving and positive things to one another. Apply this to your everyday life. Tell your best friend to get a good night's sleep. I felt great in the morning. You need to be your own best friend. A best friend to yourself also. So we hear the word friend a lot. So let's listen to our story and see if we can find these sentences. As we listen along, I ask that you follow along with our transcript, just like you would be singing karaoke. So the name of our story is How to Be Your Own Best Friend. How to be your own best friend. Okay, make sure your graphic organizer is out as we begin to listen.
Hi, this is Eva Cartman from the Dream Big Podcast Show, the place to go to learn, laugh, and grow. Last month, I shared the 3 C's of being a great friend. Great friends compliment, congratulate, and console. With school back in session, I thought it was a great opportunity to share how you can start out the year with the right mindset to develop new friendships and strengthen existing ones. Today, I wanted to share another piece of advice that may sound a bit backwards at first, but by the end of the episode, you'll know exactly what I mean. Instead of focusing on how to be a great friend to others, I want to share how and why you should be a best friend to yourself. This is something that I recently heard Deepak Chopra, probably the world's leading expert on meditation and mindfulness, say in a guided meditation. Specifically, Deepak said, and I quote, "You're always your own best friend, and best friends say loving, positive things to one another." For instance, what would you say to a best friend who's discouraged or sad? How about, "You did great," or "You're strong," or "You're wonderful just as you are"? Now, how about saying those words to yourself whenever you start to doubt the beauty of your light? I just love that quote. And more importantly, I love how we can all apply that to every part of your life. Before you take action or make a decision, ask yourself, what would I say or do here if I was advising my best friend? Would you ever tell your best friend not to try something because they could never do it? Of course not. Then don't tell yourself that. If you know that your best friend is exhausted and hasn't slept well recently, would you force your friend to stay up late and play with you? Of course not. You'd tell your best friend to get a good night's sleep. And when you're feeling tired, you should do the same. Just the other night, it was actually earlier than I typically sleep, but I was feeling super tired. So I told my parents that I was going to bed and got a few extra hours of sleep. And guess what? I felt great the next morning. If you knew your best friend had a big test or a big race the next day, would you give your best friend all the junk food in the world? Of course not. You would want your best friend to have a nutritious meal and drink plenty of water, so they feel full of energy the next day. You should do the same for yourself in that situation also. I think by now you can see where I'm going with this. Deepak is absolutely right. We need to be our own best friend. We need to take care of ourselves so that we have the energy and mindset to go out there and be the best version of ourselves. So while yes, I do want you to practice the 3 C's this year and congratulate, compliment, and console your friends at school, I also want you to be mindful that you need to be a great friend, a best friend to yourself also. This is Eva Cartman. I'll see you next episode. Bye.
All right, Janet. So during the next few minutes, I want you to draw the picture of what is a good friend. All right, we're going to pause from being the student there. And Janet, what is one thing that you might ask your students after this story to really ground them in some social emotional learning skills? What is one question that you might ask after they draw their picture?
I would ask them to explain if they have ever done the action that they drew with themselves. So maybe when they're sad, right? And if they drew a picture of themselves consoling a friend, then have they ever consoled themselves when they were sad? Did they ever give themselves a little pep talk when they were feeling down?
Awesome. All right, Janet, thanks so much for sharing your experience and playing the role of our student. So this is just one way you can use an SEL lesson on Listenwise to really integrate this into your classroom.